We watched through thick leaves as the young woman who just sprouted spectral dragon-like wings and flown to the rooftop of the inn comes around the far corner of the building, rejoining this band of travelers from the west, likely telling her companions that the guards she had went to the rooftop to meet had retreated somewhere that she couldn't quite figure out. Likely into the trap door they kept covered with foliage in the back, you think to yourself. You spent days watching these mercenaries, keeping track of their number, their movements, and their intentions from a relatively safe distance in these woods, thus far unnoticed in the woods outside the old inn, waiting until you had the perfect strategic advantage. You had learned a thing or two about people in your travels through these burnt lands over the last few years. After watching this place for a few days, you knew these mercs were up to, well, likely something no good. And then this bunch of whoever's just walks up and bangs on the front door. Were they brave, simply careless, or most likely they were just stronger than they looked, and they knew it? After a final few bangs on the door, it seems this group was giving up on a night's rest in an inn, and the mercs inside wanted nothing to do with them, at least for now. Camera pans over Dazen's shoulders as he watches the party move off to the north, trailing off the main path to find a camp or place to camp in the woods for the night. Likely settling somewhere not too far away. No doubt they'd be keeping a close watch for any movement in the woods, no matter what kind of defenses they may have had. But these mercs had a few in their number, skilled in the art of stealth. The two elves had been your only real worry for being found out since you got here. One of them reminded you some of a Mako. Her careful yet confident movement, that dark, almost purplish coloration of the labyrinth elf skin, was nearly as dead matched to the color of her scales. They would no doubt be out tracking the newcomers soon if they weren't already. This made the risk of getting seen out in the woods worse now than it had been since you got here. With the newcomers and the mercs keeping eyes out for each other, this might be a good chance to nestle into the cracked wall beneath the tavern, just beside the rear stables. The elves would return soon to debrief the lot inside, and you could likely get an ear on most of what was said in the tavern above from there. No guards up top made that an easy decision. You knew having information was always one way to gain a solid strategic advantage. We watch as Dazen moves through the brush towards the inn, his heavy suit of armor delicately flexing with each step. The 6.5-foot tall dragonborn moved through these quiet woods at a steady pace with surprisingly little sound. Years of training and covert missions prepared him for these moments. And his painstakingly crafted custom armor didn't hurt either. He stalks around the rear of the inn and positions himself within a portion of the broken wall beside a woodpile, covering his shield with a worn green cloak and nestling in. Then he waits there, surprisingly hard to spot if you weren't looking for him. Some time passes, but it's not long before we can hear the sounds of men gathering in the tavern above. It's clear some have already began discussing things elsewhere inside the Willow's Respite, and that the time had come to inform the entire group and begin planning their next moves. We should ambush him at dawn. Soon as the magic bubble pops, we take him by surprise. There's too many of us and too little of them. They'll surrender soon enough. Once we got him alive, we've got product again. When the trade picks back up, so long as we got skin to sell, it won't matter to them that Killian's dead. At the drop of the name Killian, there seems to be some unease. The discussion falters a bit as hushed grumbling fills the room. You know the rules. You ain't to mention that name no more. Well, Karai ain't here to enforce his stupid rules, is he? And when he's returned, he'll be happy to know we can get back to business down south, without Foxel's help. He'll be thanking us for fixing all of his fuck-ups. And we won't owe her nothing. We should have just taken him in when they knocked. You heard him, they was just looking for rooms. We could have let them think that we was just an inn like they thought we was. Tied them all up when they was sleeping. Easy as that. Boy, I'm sure they'd have believed a lot of us were just a bunch of fucking innkeepers and stable boys, eh? You fucking knob. He's right. Cry knows the Southerners ain't going to be happy that, well, Killian's dead. If he really wants to lead us now, he knows we need to keep filling the wagons. That's why he went up there in the first place. If we could get a wagon full of high-value flesh while he's gone, and do it without her help, we'll be on his good side when he gets back from Skulktown. Boy, on his good side, all I care about is staying out of his crosshairs. As the group continues to psych themselves up for an ambush in the morning, Dazen would listen for a while longer before hearing enough and retreating back to his campsite of the last few days. Now sitting with the decision of how he would need the next morning to play out. What strategy would he need to employ? He could warn the newcomers, but what might that gain? Would they even trust him? As Dazen went over the many possibilities and the next moves that he could make ahead, a hunting party of Fomorians, with wolves in tow, would pass by the tiny hut and watchful eye of Stephen, bringing an unforeseen variable into play. Now, we jump back to the present, which is on one of these pages. Whatever Dazen may have had planned regarding the morning's ambush has been thrown out the window, as it is now the start of combat round 4. He stands in the broken doorway of the Burning Willows Respite. Heavy snow falling around the building as it illuminates the southern Lamnic with an orange glow. Third massive Fomorian giant with bulbous deformities comes bounding in from the rear building, massive club in hand, muttering to himself. I see we got more corpses come to join the marsh. Let's slaughter them all. And Dazen, it's your go. Once I get roll 20 to work.
Dazen is going to...
Oh, nailed it. Nailed the name 4 or 5 times.
See what it looks like in here now.
Oh yeah, there's a massive orb of impenetrable black magic covering the bulbous form of Stephen.
Right, that's right. Doesn't want anyone seeing. Understandable.
I can't hear you, Marshall. I can see you talking. Just maybe mute and unmute. See if that'll do it. Still nothing.
Nope.
Well, while Marshall is figuring that out.
Yeah. It was a solid joke, I'm sure.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All I was saying was it's not just the bulbous form. It goes out 15 feet in every direction. That's what
It's just a black dome.
Yeah, it's
a
huge.
Massive black. Bigger. It's literally bigger than the tiny hut.
Sorry, continue.
Alright. Dazen's going to try and close some of the distance. And to do that, he's going to propel himself forward. So as a bonus action, he's going to gain a flying speed equal to twice his walking speed until the end of the turn.
Incredible.
So that's 70 feet.
That's
He just kind of thrusts himself suddenly forward. Doesn't even look like he's like flying or anything. Just floats through the air with some speed and maneuvers himself behind Fomorian.
sick.
And with his first attack, he's going to fire off a hand crossbow shot into it.
Yeah.
That's 6. And then he will, for his second attack, use his breath weapon. So the helmet, like, briefly kind of opens up, and his jaw opens. There's no sound that comes out, only a brief greenish light as I need a Constitution saving throw, I think. Oh, Dexterity saving throw.
That's much better for you. Because you know this boy's not a dexterous fellow. 9er. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 9er.
Alright, so that's 14 psychic damage. I don't know if it takes psychic damage.
It does. It does take psychic damage. It loves it. It doesn't love it. Actually. His head hurts.
Okay. Alright, that is Dyden's turn.
Awesome. And if you were wondering, the other one, this guy here, let's all remember, is blind currently. I think he's got like 2 more rounds of it. And the ceiling height here is actually like 20 feet in this, where all the blue floor is. So you could have easily like kind of flown however the hell you wanted.
I could have gone over it.
Yeah, so there is, where you're standing is stairs going up, hinted by the arrow. And there is a, like this zone here, I'm gonna mark it with, so like, basically, all with like that I just like, that's a raised balcony, like a catwalk essentially.
Oh, okay.
And there are rooms above.
Alright, well, I'm exactly where I want to be then.
Perfect. Also, my rulers are wacky. Just like striking. Weird. Okay. Dyson, that is your. Gonna nail that. Gonna totally nail that. Failing. There we go. One of those things where it's like I pronounced it that way every time I've read it, so now I have to like change it.
You got some stuff to undo.
Or he's just gonna kill you.
Yeah, or I'll kill you faster so that it goes away.
Make a more annoying character next time.
Now I see that you can just, jump across the battlefield in one bounding leap. I might have to.
This is a advantage for either of these guys right now, right?
Yeah.
One blind and one flanked.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We'll start with the left one.
Great.
2023.
Okay.
It's his year.
Oh.
Does not confirm. But still a heap ton of damage. But it is still standing.
Let's hit him again.
That will do. That will take So that second hit knocks this big lumbering oaf to the floor. Like the incorrect. There it is.
He's gonna move just a little bit this way, still staying within reach range as to not incur any attacks. Just to make it a little harder for that guy to get to anyone not made out of a boulder.
Who likes hitting boulders? Lagandu.
He's going to move.
Enough dead bodies in here to pile over?
Uh-huh. Can move there. Into the big dark bubble. And we're gonna take some swings at big guy.
If you're inside the bubble, you are completely blind.
Mm-hmm. It's magical darkness, though.
Oh no. It is magical darkness.
Your boy can see through magical darkness, baby.
Oh, no. That's horrifying. Multiple of you that can see through magical darkness? Oh no. So you can actually see the hideous form of Steven in there.
That's insane. Nice.
he's probably mad about it.
Clutching like a bag of corn or flour. Don't look at me.
Oh no.
These hands are on fire.
Oh no, there's two people who can see the magical darkness. Alright.
We're...
This guy's blind, so you would have advantage.
Alright, I can do that. I don't think that's a D4. It should be bigger than that, I thought.
Are you hitting your like extra hit or something? Your pull
No.
on extra hit?
I hit that.
Yeah, that should be more than a
It's a D6. I thought we said it was a D6.
Yeah. It
Oh,
should
okay.
be a 6. That'll hit. That'll click.
Okay. Worked as a D6.
I also don't think that even rolled a dice. I think it just rolled a 1.
Yeah, it says rolling 1 plus 4,
Yeah.
but the 1 isn't a die. What the heck? Let's see what
It's cause let me get rid of that. Let's do, cause now it got rid of it. Oh, I should probably type in the die. Slashing.
I'm sorry, Preston. I already forgot. What kind of weapon is this?
I don't know
Kusarigama.
if I don't know if you've seen it yet. Oh,
you-
this is blacked out right here. I see it on the sheet. Boom.
I mean, I can read that, but what does that mean?
Try to hit it.
I had a picture of it. So it's basically a chain like sickle.
Yeah, it has
Interesting.
A, like scythe
26.
and a weight
Like
on
the ninja weapon.
Uh-huh. It's got a chain with like a sickle on one end, and the opposite end is like a little weighted ball.
Handle thing? Oh, a ball.
Mhm. Or it's ball like a weight. Or something of the like. I had a good picture of it, I can't find it.
You can Google it too. It's a real weapon.
Yeah. So
1d6. That's it. 1d6 plus strength.
You did it.
yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Use their strength, yeah, 4.
Sick.
It was meant to be a 5 all along.
Yeah. 5 plus 4 plus 1 plus 4. Yeah.
Got him.
14 hit.
A 14 does hit, actually.
Oh, good. Then I'm going to hit him with the weight after the little scythe comes back, and I believe that's just a D4. Yeah. A little D4. Boop. Cool. Cool.
He has no idea where it's coming from, as it just hits him in the bulbous face.
And I do believe that's all we shall do for now.
Great. Flex Master Xerxes. Wow, I really hate that the Kongu is literally in the darkness and just reaping havoc. It's really scary. 28, that'll certainly hit. Those will both hit. 2 massive gunshots ring out.
Boom, boom. I mean, it's still silent, but yeah.
Yeah, we just imagine them in our brains.
I may have to take the silencer off just because.
I like to think that it just yells.
Bang, bang.
Right.
That's it. That's his turn.
Devo.
Can I make a perception check to see how this guy looks?
Yes, sir.
Is it, anyone's roll 20 acting funny?
Yeah, it's like kind of being weird for me.
Mine's like slightly like a half second delay, but otherwise it's
Like, it's not letting me click on stuff.
Yeah, it was being weird for me a little while ago, so it might just be that.
Alright, let's try it now.
I think hard to tell just because of the
Awful looking nature of him.
the nature of the creature. He just always looks in pain.
Yeah.
But he is bleeding.
Yep. Okay. Alright. First, I need a dex save.
Oof. Bad. It's bad. Real bad.
I'm putting it where it doesn't hit anybody.
Yep.
Yep.
38.
That's the most I've ever done on Fireball, I think. And then bonus action, I will use my metamagic rod, and oh man, that's insane damage. Too bad I missed.
Well, will miss.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
My God.
That's quite the damage output if that hits.
On a bolt.
Yeah.
You,
all right,
you
and
did a low fireball with a bolt.
Yeah.
That's not true.
And yeah, Steven's pretty comfortable in his Shroud of Darkness, so that's his turn.
You actually have advantage.
Sweet.
Because he's blind.
Even though it's a ranged attack?
Yeah, he can't see it coming.
No. Well, I'll take the first one.
Yeah, you get the 12. Just realized that he's blind. Alright, it is his turn. Man, he's having a real bad day. You can, those of you that can like see him more clearly, you actually see him like kind of like looking around as if maybe a little bit of fear comes over his face. But then he just realizes that there's literally only one way he can get out of here. He smash down a great club at Maddie. Drink. Just fucking drilling her, I assume.
Would he have disadvantage?
Oh yeah, he is very fine. Just fucking hopefully drilling himself. It's okay.
There's only one way out.
Hey, does not confirm, so that's a miss.
Oh my god, a 30?
That's 4 against Maddie. Disadvantage 17, I don't think hits her. So he misses twice against Maddie, who's standing there. And she kind of like dodges out of the way both times. And then like anyone that can see Maddie, like as she like dodges out of the way, like dabbing on him probably, she like looks at her hand for a second. And like as she turns it over, anyone, Lagandu especially, within earshot, and the big rock man, you see her kind of like look at her hand, and you just hear under her breath like, "Oh fuck." But that's it. That's his go. Something happens, and then this guy runs in. What's your speed? Oh, it's so slow. Guess a double move to get in range of you. So he cannot attack this round. So Maddie's turn, where she looks again like at her hand, like, and she's like getting ready. You can see she's about to just go apeshit on this guy in front of her, and get that kill, and then her hand just slowly starts to vanish, just down her arm, just vanishing, and this like little like glittering light as it does. Now? Really? Now? We've been walking for and then she's just gone. Just gone. Completely vanishes.
Like Star Trek transporter style.
Yeah, just gone. And the Fomorian would have been really shocked, but he literally can't see it, so he has no. Dive, then it's your turn. Nailed it.
Nice. Alright. Dysen's quickly going to turn to face the new one and is going to fire one crossbow bolt at it. His hand crossbow.
Yup.
That hits, and he's also going to do add a psionic strike onto it, so it needs to make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
And it takes 8 additional force damage. And since it fails, he's going to move it back 10 feet.
Nice.
He's going up the stairs, by the way.
Amazing.
So you said it was like right.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop you onto the other map just so you can see it.
Okay.
But then I'm gonna bring you back. So this is what if you go over to the right side of the map, you should see it. So that's kind of what it looks like up there. There's a bunch of doors, some that are open, and it's just like a basically wooden like railing, so like you can see through it to the floor. If that makes sense to you.
It does.
Okay, I'm gonna move you back, and then you can just kind of exist here. Let me get rid of that lighting just to make it. There you go.
Am I on the thing here?
Yeah, you're on the banister.
Okay.
Yeah, or on the catwalk, on the balcony.
And he's going to fire a second shot at him.
Yes.
8.
That's it.
And he's going back up 5 feet from the edge.
All right, Talik.
Just gonna move there. Nope, not there. Yeah, I guess it has to be there. To stay in reach distance of the one on the left, but he's gonna definitely hit the one on the right. Try to take that guy out of the picture.
Oh yeah. That will hit, and that will take it out of the picture. Marshall, you almost killed it. It was 7.
Oh,
Just thought you needed to know that.
Say leg B Earth, just climbing the kill counter. And we'll look menacing and try to get the next one to focus on him by punching him in the face.
Bold strategy.
That'll hit. That'll hit with a big punch in its big, ugly face. It screams just so aggressively, especially after you murdered its friend. Lagandu.
let's see if it's not we're gonna get.
Dark cat.
This needs to not do that. We're gonna go here.
Great.
And we're going to attack. I do not have advantage, so wink.
You don't need advantage. That'll hit.
And then we're gonna swing the weighted end back at it for a D4 of bludge. And
Gonna try to hit me first.
I think it's just automatic.
auto hit?
It uses the same roll.
Okay.
Let me double check.
Seems fun.
Yeah, same. Actually, nah, I think it is probably a new roll. So that without the damage, or not. Click.
14 will hit.
Cool. Then 2
Will.
damage instead of 9.
Love it.
I need to add that in then. Weighted end. I think we're probably okay for now. That's my action. That's my bonus action.
Yeah, you should add it in because it will do a +1 to damage too. Because it's the weapon is.
Is it the +1?
So it'll
Okay.
add the +1.
Oh, I need to
So
add the
that should be
+1 to
free,
the
technically.
actual damage then. So yeah, first damage would have been 10 then. I only added it as the to hit +1 to hit.
Yeah, it'll do damage too.
Okay. Cool.
Alright, I added it in for the.
And
shield.
then that's fine. Because I think I can only do this once per turn. It's once per turn. Might as well. I'm gonna use one of my abilities to extra damage equal to your proficiency bonus of bludgeoning damage. So +4 more damages is, and that is a that'll be it.
Alright. Xerxes.
Reload, bang.
Oh, God. 14. Right between the eye. Wow.
It-
29. That was 29, not a crit. That's scary to me. So scary.
It literally goes 19 on the die, +4, +2, +4.
How many stacks? so many stacks. Oh man, I hate that you can just envelope the Gandu in that, and it doesn't matter.
Dude, when he cast that, I was like, that is so amazing.
Here you go, buddy.
Especially that I have the reach
Marshall,
for
I
it
think you're
too.
muted. Perhaps. Or just lost him.
Or it broke again.
I heard
There
him.
you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Alright. This is so frustrating. I don't know why this is happening. Anyway, Steven and his magical darkness will move forward. And we'll cast another fireball. Need another dex save.
Real good decks. Just such good decks. 17. Not terrible.
That does not save.
Love that.
And that,
my word.
that is
39 plus 12.
51 points of damage.
39 is insane.
Yeah, we're rolling hot apparently.
Yeah, he is quite singed after that.
4 6s and a 5.
Yeah,
And then double sixes on the 12.
amazing. Not a lot of missed damage points there.
No.
Massive fiery explosion adds to the chaos.
Yeah, that's my turn.
It is the dead ones go. Something happens. And now it is his turn. Things are looking rough. What to do? Does that even work? He thinks to himself. Maybe not. Doesn't have a lot of options. He's gonna have to stand and bang. I think. Just so slow. Yeah, he just yells, "For the Mars!" And he just tries to crush the rocket man, which is just kind of sad and pathetic. Really don't think about it. And he's going out swinging, and at least he's getting some damage in. Although it is probably half damage.
Actually,
Oh no.
let me just make sure. I want to make sure this isn't a bonus action. It should be a reaction. It is a reaction. So out of the darkness, you see this bright blue streak of, like, it looks like a rock that someone threw at him as the Fomorian is swinging down, and it will cause him to hit himself.
With his own weapon?
I'll put. Well, I think it can be himself. It doesn't say it can't be himself.
Who's to say? He is a different creature.
Other than the attacker?
Other than the attacker. Ooh, okay, yeah. So other than the
Oh,
attacker,
that's
you might not want to do that.
part.
You can
Okay.
target the attack. That is
Lame.
lame. Useful when there's another man on the field.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Rockman.
super cool.
There's a
There's
dead
the
guy
rock
right
there.
there.
Right? Can he pummel the dead guy?
You can't pummel the dead guy. All right, he'll do his second attack on the rock. Oh my god, that's a nat 1 Zoni. To confirm, he doesn't confirm, luckily, and he does not crit on a 30, which is cool.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And that's his go, and he will also move to there.
Can I take a opportunity attack? 'Cause
Yeah, if you left your reachy.
yeah, he is out of my reach.
Bad news bears. That
Hey!
hits.
So it's actually an 11? Because I didn't add the +1.
Got it.
I've added the +1.
Alright, top of round 6, I think.
Alright. Step forward and fire. 2 shots with his action. And
Hit.
shot with his bonus action.
Wow. And a 10, you say. Dazen. How do you want to do this?
Dyson. Shoots it into his pus-filled, mutated back, and all the stuff just starts. Whatever pus just starts spewing out, and he just deflates. I don't know what these things are.
He deflates.
You know, Papa Boyle type thing.
You definitely popped the boil. And they are all dead. There
Done
are
it?
dead bodies everywhere. And one of your number vanished into thin air. So that's something. Canonically, that happens.
It's just great.
Does Steven turn back to normal?
You're out of combat. It's hard to tell. Only a Lagandu knows.
How does
Steven will drop
our
the
lizard
darkness
friend look? Okay.
and will say, "This is the last time we help people who, didn't even let us in," assuming, still looking awful.
It does still look awful, yeah. Does absolutely still look like a horrible, misshapen, hideous beast, and he moves at half speed. And like
Cool.
he's got a club foot. It's really bad. Hunchback.
Limping.
Yeah. Not great. Doesn't look great. Looks like Steven version of that.
Is Salix staying in Rockman mode?
He is. Sure is.
That sounds like two gravels being ground together when he talks.
Well, actually, maybe. Can he do a quick check? I don't even know if he can in this form. But can he take a look around to see if any of these people are not dead but only unconscious?
Yeah, you can absolutely. Perception check to look around her. Looking around the room, like, still slowly kind of lumbering through and just like looking at everyone. Everyone looks pretty dead.
In my head,
That you can see.
Selig is doing that in rock form and like picking them up, and then like just punching them once just to make sure, like, or like
Shaking
shaking
them,
them.
yep.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Can I do like a investigation of the peeps?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to see, like, I'm looking for like any clues as to who these people are. Do they belong to a group? If so, what are they? You know, like, what's the deal here?
Yeah, absolutely.
While they're doing
Is
that.
Dazen still on the balcony?
Yeah, he is. He's gonna start looking through the rooms upstairs.
Oh,
I will
nice.
call out to him before he does that.
You're gonna stop him?
I mean, I'll call out to you. That.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't mean like physically, like
Clubfoot's
Steven's using
not
magic
running up
to
there.
stop him.
70 movement versus 10 movement.
Yeah. Hang on,
Try
do
and catch
Nate's
me.
investigation thing first.
Yeah.
So this group that you kind of are nearest to, you start kind of like looking through, picking through like what they're carrying, and you can see that they're like wearing armor, whether it's mostly just like leather and like kind of like makeshift like mix of armor that it looks like they probably accumulated over time. They're not carrying any like money or anything like that, like personal effects. It doesn't look like. But while you're kind of standing there, you can see there's like a cart here, like a wagon, and also like kind of around it is just like a compiled amount of like there's weaponry laying there. There's like rolled up like nets, some of which like have like weights at the bottom. There's manacles. There's all sorts of like things there that are almost look like they were kind of like placed out and being like prepared. Like if someone was preparing to go on a trip or something, was preparing to go do something, it looks like these whoever these people may be were seeming like preparing for something, preparing for battle in a way. Because of just like the weapons and the weighted nets and this wagon, as you kind of get a better look at this wagon, it's the interior is very cage-like. It looks like it's meant to hold animals or perhaps people. By the way, you can see some of the hooks and manacles that are kind of hanging in there. So that's kind of what you notice. You don't really see anything in particular like that matches upon the people per se. Like they all look kind of rough from like your first inspection of this kind of group that's like more over here and maybe outside. They just look rough, a bit dirty, and they're all carrying random weaponry. But your best guess is they kind of were caught off guard by these massive beasts that are now bleeding profusely and pussing all over the floor.
Gross.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, Dyson, I'm going to shut this door that's nearest to you right now.
Sure.
And then I want to see if you can open it. Just by clicking. Yeah, great. Amazing. So good. Incredible. I love that.
We can do all the doors. It's fun.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'll just say you're only
You there.
open doors that you're within 5 feet of, you monsters.
I'll call out. You there, sharpshooter.
Dyson was about to kind of step away from the edge, the railing, conduct business up there, but then he stops hearing your voice, and he will just then leap over the edge down and start walking towards you all. Yes, yes, yes.
What brings you here?
I'm on my own set of duties I'm following out through here. I was curious what was happening in this place and took advantage of the situation. Thank you for your aid in the battle.
You're welcome. I'll kind of look around at everyone, and I'm Steven. What was your name?
I am Dyson of the Imperial Psi Legion,
The Imperial what?
second officer of the Dragoon Division. Oh, have you never heard of us?
I can't say that I have. Where do you hail from?
Have you ever heard of the land of Ocelos?
Yeah, I'll do the same.
But yeah,
I feel like an ember is there.
but you've
I don't know if
likely heard of Ocelos. Ocelos is the very mysterious other basically con. We have L'Oreal, we have Krzik, we have Ocelos, and Ocelos is the most recent to like make contact essentially in the last like 100 years. Like, so it's very foreign. Like is how it would be viewed. Like there has not been an immense amount of contact between L'Oreal, especially the Veil, and Ocelos.
And is
So
that
the
where?
extent of your knowledge is probably fairly low, just because there isn't a lot of information out there.
Yeah, we're the most knowledgeable people about Ocelos on this continent, and we don't know anything.
Yeah, it may be. You may be.
Okay.
Is that where the Dragonborn come from? Like canonically, or?
Yeah. Canonically, there is a massive amount of dragon from that region. Yeah.
Just in name and on maps, that's about it. What brings you to our shores? Imperial second officer of the Imperial Psi Army, or whatever it was.
Close enough. Back before the sky burned, I was on a mission of sorts in cultural exchange with some of the governments of Moranth and their spires. But that is in the past. I could ask the same for a lot of you. Strange ones. Strange makeup. And that shelter you hid in last night, curious as well. What brings you out to these woods?
Well, we heard the screaming and saw the wolves and figured these people were in trouble. Sadly, it looks like we got here too late to help them.
Like they were the sort that wanted help anyways. Just glancing around.
Yeah, they weren't the most hospitable innkeepers. But, you know, if they'd let us in, they might have had a different fate, so they made their own bed, shall we say.
And now they're lying in it. Soaked in blood.
Indeed.
Well, do you have any other business with this location? Curiosity about it?
No, we were just, nearby. We're headed to the crossing, and then further in the Lamb Neck. You?
I was heading a similar way.
How great, real quick aside, how great would it have been if Michael and Croft had him going the complete opposite direction? It's like, okay, well, good to meet you. And that was it. Like, okay, fun. Sorry.
New character every week.
Yeah, just enjoyed the thought of that, of like, oh no, I'm not going that way, and I'm not planning on changing. Like, oh, okay, cool. Well,
Peace.
farewell, strange. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, exactly. What takes you into the Lamb Neck?
Just seen interesting things passing through it. As he kind of gestures to the pus foaming carcasses of these strange giants.
Okay.
You know anything else about these?
No,
monsters?
I have never seen one before in my life. Have you?
Not since before I came near this area.
Well, we hail from the south. We are on a task that concerns this whole continent. So if your interests are fighting evil like this, our interests certainly seem to be aligned, at least in that regard.
By evil like this, do you mean factions of the outsiders?
The out.
From beyond our world.
That's a great question. It was more, evil-looking creatures attacking people in the middle of the night, unprovoked. It seemed like. So that's kind of where I was going with the evil. I'll kind of look at Xerxes. In our experience, creatures from beyond our world generally have been pretty evil, but not one to be prejudiced, I guess. It is 2023, or whatever year it is.
I imagined you lot would share a hatred for the outsiders, given your war in the incursion.
If you're referring to the demons, you could call them, then yes, you're correct. I believe they call themselves the Chaos Legion nowadays. Or someone does, at least.
Yes, I've come across some of their aftermath in traveling east.
Yes. To answer your question, we are in search of those that caused the burning or the skyfire. And we are investigating links between them, the Church of Sin, and even the royal monarchy of Greyforge. At least I am. But it seems like myself and this group that I've just recently joined, our paths always seemed to cross. And so some way, somehow, it just seems appropriate that we help each other along our own paths.
Yes. Sometimes the way leads to such things. Of coalescing of many strange alliances, peoples. I too consider these Chaos Legion and others like it enemies of the peoples of Ocelos. If you seek to track them down, I could aid you in that, in fighting against them. At least for the time being.
I certainly don't see a reason why that would be a problem. But seeing that you and I are both newcomers, I suppose it's only right to let the rest of them decide.
The Rockman, the Elf, and the Horned One?
Correct.
I think the Elf called himself Stephen.
Yes, Stephen, Wizard of the First Order of Briarwood. Order of the Stewards. I mean, I kind of look at Xerxes sadly, like, pretty much everyone's new.
We're gonna need all the help we can get.
Agreed.
Yeah, call back every week. I love it.
And there's just a big rock and
Hey, before this goes any further, because I've written down like several checks I want to do, but this one is maybe important for if Selig comes out of form.
Mm-hmm.
Our friend Lagandu said something about we are searching for those that caused the Skyfire. Is that new news to him? Like, I always thought that was a mystery, and this dude all of a sudden seems to know, like he has an idea of who or what actually did it. Is that something that is new news, or am I just not remembering that right?
It is not the first time Lagandu has mentioned something like that to you. He said something similar in the tower.
We're going to be talking about that in 5 hours and 55 minutes when he reverts.
What do you all want to do? As this inn that you're currently in is slowly burning. The wooden part in the back, at least.
Oh yeah.
It's not spreading like hellishly quickly, and it is. You guys are kind of below the area that has caught. It's like kind of the back stables area that is currently kind of on fire. And it will probably end up eventually engulfing the entire place, but you do have some time before that happens.
Would it be possible to put it out in some way?
Yeah, you could, if you wanted to spend time doing that.
Like, the only reason I say that is because, according to the DM's calendar here, there's a heavy snow falling.
Yeah, there is a snow falling out there.
So there could be worse things to just, I know it's not ideal.
Hunker down for the rest of the day.
Yeah, just to wait out the snow.
And when we say rest of the day, we mean literally the whole day, because it's not even day. It's not even sunrise.
Yeah, it's not even sunrise yet.
Or maybe the snow, breaks in the middle or whatever. But
no
use traveling in the heavy snow for no reason.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if you guys want to.
Does Steven have something that can take care of the?
If you he needs to prepare his spells for the day still, so I'm looking. Water breathing. Well, if we had water, that'd help.
Well, there is like a basic well situation here where they're bringing in water. You could bucket it fairly easily.
Could get the snow that's falling.
There's snow outside. You guys could put it out. It probably wouldn't take too long.
We also have an earth elemental that could just, heap earth on top of it.
Yeah, you could just heave a bunch of snow on it. If you guys are looking to stop that inferno from becoming an inferno, you could do that.
Yeah, let's put the
Fine with
fire out.
that. Fine with that. All right. So probably by the late morning, maybe we'll say, of the next day, the fire is out. You guys are able to kind of put it out. And by that time, the heavy snow is kind of, it's not as heavy. There's still a snowfall happening, but the heaviness is kind of ended, and it's kind of like mid-morning, I'd say, by the time you get the fire out.
Hey, Michael, before the time goes too far,
Absolutely.
one more check on has Saleg seen or heard of anything that might explain the Maddie incident? Or is that nobody's ever seen anything like that before?
Yeah, I mean, you could roll, but I don't know if that roll, just for out of curiosity's sake, roll a Arcana check. I just want to see what
You
it
sure
is.
it's not animal handling?
You could also try animal handling. I'll tell you what that information gets you as well. Yeah, I don't think you know. Though there's something possibly to do with a horse, but it's hard for you to know exactly. No, yeah, you're not really sure. That was really weird. Like, it looked like she basically faded out of existence in this kind of glowing thing and just was cursing and didn't seem happy about it. And she never said anything about anything along those lines in the days
And I
that you
assume
talked to her.
she didn't do this in the trip up or in the time we met her in Briarwood, right?
Nope. Yeah. She's been a fully solid human that has not vanished into thin air ever before you, as far as you know. But she's just gone. There's like no trace of her. None of her stuff behind, nothing.
I assume while we're just sort of like chilling out for the day, we just kind of go through the room, see what's going on, if there's anything cool, anything of note.
Totally.
Doesn't see if there's a basement.
Yeah, so he would know that there is a trapdoor somewhere outside that goes underground. So as you kind of slowly walk through this place, you'll find all the doors on this level. One of them is locked. This one over here is actually locked. But probably in Xerxes' like kind of search, looking over some of these guys, you find some keys on some of them, like room keys that seem to belong to their rooms. And eventually you'd be able to open this door. Which actually, can someone click on that door? Does it do anything when you try?
Lock.
The little lock pops up?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Just shakes.
That's so fun. Wow. But you'd be able to open this.
It's cool.
And you just find a pretty simple room on this floor. It just seems like the literal room of someone that probably kept the stables down here. Yeah, there's nothing special in it. But man, this map was the perfect map for testing doors. This in the back here is stables. And though there are animals on the map, the animals have been slaughtered, along with everyone else that you come across that has also been slaughtered recently, as if by large clubs and large knives of the Fomorians. As I said, there's stairs here, and those just go up to that second floor where there are rooms, two of which are locked, that you can easily force your way in. And you just find that these are rooms that belong to people. They have some trinkets and like personal effects in them for as you kind of are searching through them, but nothing like of note. There is also a room here that is on the same level, and then there are steps here that go up. And Dyson, you would know that goes likely into like that upper tavern area where there was like where you were able to kind of listen beneath. So there is that as well.
Steven's still deformed.
Yes, Steven is still deformed.
When Selig comes out of form, he will ask him if he will restore him.
Just clubfooting around. Clubfoot Steve. Or Clubfoot Steve.
Selig will I'm sure you appreciate. Only a few spells at the tip of the tongue, but tomorrow's a new day, as they say.
Today's a new day. Don't you do this every morning?
I mean,
Look at me, Selig. Look. I can't walk around like this.
Well, Selig will offer him his shillelagh to help him walk.
Amazing.
No, but I mean, where are we on the?
Yeah, so it's still. I mean, it's still the same morning that you would have. You'll need the next. You'll need a night's rest.
I thought after the battle, you said you were never going to not prepare that spell.
Those were inside thoughts. I shouldn't have made them outside thoughts.
Well, they are outside thoughts, and I didn't forget those outside thoughts because I thought, oh, what a smart thought Selig had. He's a smart guy.
You have to admit that tidal wave came in handy, though.
Incredible.
Do I have to admit that, Selig? Did you see me barbecue this guy?
Who would have the handy haversack right now? Taking off Saru's dead body.
I think they threw that in the garbage.
Okay.
I remember right. It actually got sucked in the portal.
I mean, it's not terribly important, but
sucked right in.
There were some fancy robes in there that Steven could wear.
To cover up his lovely outward appearance at the moment.
Gonna be walking in a shroud of darkness all day. Every single spell slot.
Just head down with the clouds. Just
and then at times a literal shroud of darkness if we see other people.
So good. So in this the ground floor room here, you do find a door that is locked. It is a much heavier door.
In this room?
Yeah, in that room that one. Yep.
There's a dead dude in here.
There's also a dead dude in there.
That's sad.
And you can actually see there is like a smear of blood that you can see that I've now drawn beautifully on the map.
Crawling, bleeding out through the whole fight.
Yeah.
Whoops.
He was crawling towards the back corner, it seemed like. But it seems like he was bled out. And then you can see the door, which is just the greatest thing ever. Man, I love that.
But he was crawling towards this direction?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly what I was just thinking.
I can get rid of the rock man now. R.I.P. The only way I'll ever kill that guy is just deleting him off the map.
I will wave my wand of secrets at the wall where this guy's crawling.
Yeah. You wave the wand of secrets, and literally 5 feet before him, it kind of dings on the ground.
Oh. I'll
investigate that and find that it kind of very easily, the floor kind of lifts up, revealing a ladder that goes down into the earth, and it seems like a tunnel to the north.
To the north.
To the north.
That makes sense.
Do we need to go to the north?
why does it make sense?
The tunnel looks, if
He's
you
in.
look down there, the tunnel
Right.
looks to go about 50 or so before it goes back up.
There was a trap door on the outside.
Oh, okay. How do I say the name again?
She's not here right now. I don't know where she went. The one that had the wings from the day before.
Yeah, Maddie. Are
When
we gonna
she
talk
when
about
she
that?
jumped up, when she approached, I saw the two on top scurry into the trap door beneath on the other side.
Did y'all see what I saw? That she just disappeared?
I mean, if we're being honest, she kind of just appeared.
Yeah, but she at least... No, I wasn't there. Never mind.
Well, sure, but like, she didn't. We traveled all the way up here together.
We traveled around with Isabel. We traveled around with Glint. People come, people go.
Nice.
Well, they didn't like vanish into thin air. Like, I mean, she did. Glint, like, his brain got eaten. So we don't. All bets are off there. Like, that at least made sense.
It was
Madonna,
more
you were
so...
standing right there, right?
It was less that she disappeared, because, you should know. You do magic. You can teleport and move places. It seemed like she didn't want to, or that she wasn't ready, or that it wasn't in her control, is the more curious part of everything.
Yeah, which is very strange. She hadn't ever done anything magical before, so. Guess we just, can I copy Salig's Arcana check from earlier, Michael?
Oh yeah, totally.
So her disappearance had something to do with horses. I'm pretty sure of it.
Is that not coming through? Ooh.
Well, yeah, at least.
And my page is unresponsive. Okay, well, this is fun.
Oh,
Oh.
it came through.
They both came through.
21.
Yeah, 21. It's you think that there's some probably arcane explanation for what happened, but yeah, you're not familiar with anything like the fact that she didn't seem to want to go and then kind of disappeared. Is there's there seems to be pieces missing, but there has to be some kind of arcane explanation.
Got it.
It probably has nothing to do with horses, but I don't know if you want to tell Selig that or not.
I'm definitely not telling Selig that after the choices he's made this morning.
Yeah, and we all must remember that Clubfoot Steven is just a Clubfoot Steve, as I like to refer to him.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you have done this to Brett?
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
It would have been even more of an
Oh my
existential
gosh.
crisis.
That's good.
Brett might have committed seppuku on the spot.
Oh man, poor Brett.
What will my fans think of me?
Yeah. Oh man.
What will my one lady friend that I made along the way
I
think?
know. People forget that.
Okay.
She's still waiting for him.
She does fine too.
We open this locked door.
Yeah, while everyone was reminiscing about their storied travels, Dyson has pulled out his thieves' tool and has begun working on the door.
Hey.
Let's go. All rogues.
Does this mean I don't have to prepare knock every single day?
Yeah.
That's actually
You want to roll, Michael?
Yeah. You roll
Tough
that.
knowing what spells to prepare. You never know what might
Thieves'
come up.
tools, baby.
knock and greater restoration. I feel like
My lock is too strong.
Mm.
all right. Well, I'll take back my knock comment then.
Unless
Okay,
Michael lets me take a 20.
You're not able to get it. Yeah, after the first attempt, when one of your little picks doesn't quite get there, if you want to take some time, you feel like you are very, very close. I would say, so close. Some might say DC 12. So yeah, if you want to take a 20, you can. It's not that strong of a lock.
Is the door wood?
It is wood. It's just a big, heavy wooden door.
Okay.
So you could knock it down, but if he takes a little more time, he'll be able to get it.
Before we leave this room, Michael, one last check, if it is a check. Based on what we already knew coming into today, would the comments of what were those things we just fought? Fomorian.
Oh yeah, the
About
marsh.
the marsh give any context to what might it make more sense to us about what we're dealing with based on that comment or not?
Yeah, I mean, quite possibly. The marsh might ring some kind of bell just from what you guys had kind of uncovered before in the Keep of Briarwood. There was a note, something. I don't remember the exact. I don't have the exact note in front of me, but it did talk about the fetid marsh, and it was regarding the Chaos Legion.
Selig, I think, was trying to ascertain, does that sound more like a real marsh or more like a metaphorical marsh? And maybe that new sentence doesn't help that.
Yeah, that's definitely could go either way. I don't remember what we found out about Fomorians exactly, if anyone has rolled on them.
I don't know if we did.
Yet. If anybody wants to roll a nature or arcana check on these big, ugly bastards, you're welcome to.
How about history?
What'd you say, nature or what?
Nature or arcana. I mean, history's probably fine, but I think someone will probably cover it. cover that knowledge. Something else. Yeah, so maybe Selig, after coming out of Dwayne Johnson form, maybe you kind of look over these guys and kind of realize what they are. And I mean, they're all like different forms of disgusting looking, big, bulbous, hideous beasts. So maybe there was some like recognition that you struck, and finding out that they are these misshapen, deformed giants, essentially. But it's not a like deformity that's like natural. This was a race, like a Fae, a race of the Fae, like a Feywild race that used to be beautiful. They used to be like beautiful elves, but they were essentially cursed in some way that made them into what they are, and then they just continued to reproduce and get more and more vile over the time. So you know that these are of the Feywild, and specifically of the Feydark, which is like the Underdark of the Feywild, an even weirder, stranger, more horrific version of like the darkest depths of our world, just in the Feywild, just in Elf in Wonderland land. So even crazier and weirder.
Would it give me any insight as to the permanence of Steven's current problem?
Yeah, you don't know exactly. It could, it's a curse, some kind of curse. But like knowing how long that'll last, or if the curse needs to be removed, there's no telling. It hasn't seemed to wear off at this point.
I'm gonna take their necklaces, by the way.
Love that. Each has one. Let's take our 8:46 break. All right. Where are we? There we go. The door.
Yes.
Great. How do I? You unlock the door. Takes a little time, but you're able to do it. Gosh, that is just so satisfying that you can open it, and that I don't have to, and that we have an icon that you can see that there's a door there. All right. So as you enter the room, or just look in, you are immediately met with a horrible smell, as it smells like kind of rot, and you can see this form on the floor that is wrapped in like a pretty heavy rug, and maybe some bedding in the humanoid shape over there. Definitely some seepage of blood and stainage on that rug, and maybe bedding that it's wrapped in. Looking around the room, there isn't like too much that immediately grabs your attention. Xerxes, as you kind of like peer in there maybe are a few things that catches your eye, specifically, because you actually see like on a table that there are a good amount of components for the creation of like ever burning candles. that you would have made back in your shop. There are also 3 small half pony barrels of black powder just kind of sitting there. And then just like a box that's just been like full, like dumped into of like just kind of like random like tinkering hammers, small pliers, like smithing tools and tinker tools. And they're all just kind of shoved into the corner, like the far corner over here. Otherwise, the only other stuff in the room is some empty chests that don't appear to like have anything in them, and like a barrel with like a bunch of random like rusted weaponry, like martial weapons, essentially, like swords, long swords, just random weaponry, just sitting in a barrel.
Well, this is disconcerting, to say the least.
Oh,
What makes you say
there are
that?
there are a few bottles of moonshine and a keg of ale, and then that's it. Very important, should I tell you?
So,
That is there.
do I need to make a roll to know that this guy's been dead for a while?
You can tell he's been dead for a while. If you want to be a little more exact, you can make a roll. But
No, I was just
he did not die during this
description
fight. He didn't
sounded
crawl
like-
in here. Yeah, he did not crawl in here during the fight and die. He's been dead for a little while.
Well, I have a dead body in what essentially looks like the workshop.
Well, Lagandu, we haven't known each other for very long, but if I didn't know better, I'd say this looks like one of my workshops, though a rather rudimentary one. Almost a knockoff.
As in somebody was trying to replicate your work? Did
It's
you by
possible.
chance have an apprentice of some sort?
No. No real apprentice, no.
Real apprentice? But you had like a fake one?
I mean, it's been many years, but there was a young child I took under my wing once, but he disappeared long ago, and it was only for a brief period of time.
Daizan, you said that you saw the guys on the roof go through the trapdoor. How long were you outside?
I saw you approach and knock and be on your way, only to arrive again the next day.
Did you overhear any conversation by chance? Anything about this room? This body through the walls by chance?
I did catch something. They were talking about a man named something about what they both started with K. Killian
Yeah, I can give you.
and Akorai. One was dead. One sounded like their boss. I can't recall which was which. But they're
I
very weird about talking about their names. And while you're talking to him, like he's like kind of digging through some of the components too, and he like will find a piece every now and then and like put it in a bag.
Yeah, there's like small little like pieces of metal. There's little like cogs, rivets, like just all kinds of like nuts, bolts, and then like every once in a while, like to Xerxes' eyes, like essentially bullet casing. There's some alchemical components that like help you create bullets, like all the types of things that you would need to create those things, and you can see the like half barrels of black powder there. Some of which, like one of them is about like a third, like 2/3 of the way down. Just like it's all just kind of there, and it doesn't look super well taken care of, but it's all there. A lot of it was older stuff as well. So,
Any of those names mean anything to you, Xerxes? That dies that overheard.
Just so I'm clear, did he know the name or was he guessing those names? 'Cause I like, there's like Croft remembering 3 hours ago, and then there's Dyson, who may also not have been really paying attention. I don't know.
He would have caught the names. Killian, a name that was like kind of like people were a little weird about that word being spoken, and then Karai, which was one of the other names that came up in regards to like someone that seemed to be in charge but seemed to not be here currently, hadn't went north.
At the name Karai, Xerxes would just kind of hang his head and say, "That little shit. I can't believe he actually did it. I always suspected, but it's been so long I just kind of assumed he burned bright and died somewhere out there. This complicates things."
Is this your small child?
I wasn't really prepared to talk about this, guys, so I'm gonna have to look at my email. The email that I wrote to Michael on July 26th of 2021.
You motherfuckers are never safe.
I've been
Never
there.
safe.
I did that too. I referenced an email I sent to Michael, and I even typed it to Michael, like in really small font. I was like, November 2021? What the fuck?
You're never safe.
We've gone back that far?
You're never safe. These places existed before your backstories were even made.
Nate, why did you write this in narrative form, you idiot?
I think you're talking to yourself, but I really want that to be Michael responding to you.
Not your small child, but spoiler alert. But great guess. Solid guess. Maybe a small child. Who knows? Could have been. You don't know.
Well,
is there anything anyone else wants to do in the world in the room while they're pieces?
Yeah, Lagandu's gonna ask Selig to help him unravel the body, at least the head part.
Easily done. Human man, dark complexion, looks kind of ghastly because he's been dead for over a week. Bullet wound. Maybe Lagandu doesn't recognize that type of death at this point. Maybe he does. He's probably seen enough of it in his travels following behind the party. But yeah, clear bullet wound in his head.
Let's for funsies. Could be not. Um. I suppose the question is, if this guy's here on the ground, where's the one that did this? And maybe more importantly, where's the weapon?
That's my primary concern as well. I've never really shared the secrets of my invention for fear of what could be done at mass scale. Truth be told, I'd never really taught Karai either. But the kid was smart. He had an affinity for gears just like I. Even though at this point I was a fairly experienced adventurer. Seeing a young tiefling down on his luck with so much potential, I couldn't help but lend him a hand. When I was active during the incursion, the crossing was one of my many bases throughout the land. And it was just outside of it that I encountered Karai for the first time. Arrogant, intelligent, only 15 or 16 years old. The idiot had gotten himself cornered by Vrock. If I hadn't been there to save him, there would have been no one. He tried to play off like he was some kind of tough guy, but at 15, you really know nothing about the world. I patched up his injuries, and he hung around the shop from time to time. I utilized him as an assistant for when I needed to repair my gear or create new items. He had really fallen in with a crowd that, well, truth be told, fits the crossing pretty well. I'd always hoped for better for him, though. As you can imagine, my adventures took me all over, and I didn't get back to the crossing very much. When it became apparent that the crossing was going to fall to the primordials, I wanted to make sure that my workshop was properly closed. And maybe check in on Karai and make sure he hadn't done something stupid, got himself in trouble. But when I returned, I found my workshop completely turned over. And the prototype of the newest iteration of my weapon missing. This was more than 30 years ago. I had just assumed that some idiot had stolen it and had no idea what it was. Got himself killed by primordials. But it appeared that Karai had different things in mind.
Is this man on the floor Karai?
No. No, Karai is a tiefling. He looks strikingly like myself. Just with a broken horn.
Well, this will be fun down the road. So what do we do with this stuff here? Can you make use of any of it?
Yes, I should be able to. How much black powder would he be able to take from here?
I mean, you could take all of it if in the bag holding if you wanted.
Or like how much? How many units? How many units of black powder are we talking here?
I could. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how we did it before.
One batch of black powder can make up to 50 bullets.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. There's probably 8 batches.
Oh yeah, it does say here
two
that
and a
they're half a pound each. If that helps you.
Yeah, I bet that there's 8 to 10 batches of black powder here.
Okay. He will take that. And then as we are awaiting Boil Wizard here to heal up, he will
Clubfoot Steve.
Clubfoot Steve. He will kind of spend the rest of the day kind of taking, trying to examine everything, see if he could maybe guess where maybe Karai is at in terms of his tinkering, and he'll also carefully try and dispose of the rest of the elements to make these things, and the casings, like just trying to make sure that no one else could try and replicate what Karai had put together here.
I love that. So Xerxes is going to kind of spend the day in this shoddy workshop, breaking down stuff that he can't use and getting rid of everything here. What's everybody else doing for kind of the rest of the day?
Dyson would be curious about this invention of Xerxes. And
Totally.
might try to pick his brain about like why he's so afraid of it getting out. And I'm not sure if Xerxes would do a tell-all, ask me anything on Reddit type thing.
AMA, I made the first gun.
AMA.
Right. I mean, it doesn't exactly take a genius to figure out why this would be an issue.
Yeah, you did just see it in action, and it is strikingly good at what it does.
We can't fix it. I mean, as long as there are criminals out there who are, who have evil in their hearts, we just can't stop it. So
luckily, there's a good guy with a gun here.
Don't blame yourself, Xerxes.
Oh, and did Lagandu actually say this is going to be an issue?
Yes.
He would reply, unfortunately, more than you know. The prototype he stole was my first attempt at making a silent weapon.
Well, it's better than fully auto, I guess.
But wait a minute, you didn't figure out your silencer till you were with us, right?
I said first attempt, it wasn't perfect.
So it sometimes is silent.
It was consistently silent, but it would break down quickly over time. It was not sustainable in the field.
That was 30 years ago.
30 years of improvement.
Jeez. Well, I guess we all need
and
guns
Xerxes
now.
gets shot in the head
I was
from
like-
600 yards.
Oh.
But
Need as many
I
good
guess-
people with guns as we can get. It's the only way to stop this.
just a gift of
Flood
a
the market with
backstory.
guns.
Just a gift of a backstory. Well, I'll just
Right, yeah. My
Yeah,
name's
everybody
Nate.
take a
I
look
wrote
at
a
that.
backstory with a kid that knew about guns.
everybody just take a note of that and be like, that's what I aim to do.
On the
is to
plus
give my
side, I
DM the
remember-
things he needs to make
Yeah.
my life hell.
No more vanity projects, everybody.
No. What
Or
you
they're
want?
solo. They're
What you want,
solo
kids?
Sometimes you just got to give the DM a character with a gun. Just see
Gotta
what
give him
happens.
what he needs. Gotta give him what he needs.
I do remember the vanity project, though.
Great, man. It's
I
great.
do
What
remember
else?
the
What
ransack.
else? What else? What else do you guys want to do here? I figure Xerxes, just like the way Dyson probably talks to you and like asks you about certain things, like you may pick up on the fact that like, oh, like he knows a little bit about, like you guys kind of maybe share something in common in that.
Yeah, and he might, being in close quarters now, might see some more details on his armor, and that it's not. Well, at a distance, it looked like kind of like standard plate. You see the more complexity of it up close.
Is it like clockwork situation? Is it like just very like ornately crafted?
You can definitely tell that there's parts that move.
Oh, right. You said that the mechanism for his his mouth breathe.
Yeah,
his mouth
like-
breathing.
And you can I probably would have said this earlier, but like his helmet would have like retracted almost,
Ooh.
revealing his dragonborn face and emerald gray skin.
Pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
I imagine that Xerxes and Dyson are just like broing out in the gruff way that they can. Kind of like mutual respect and interest in what's going on, but not like appearing too excited.
Oh yeah. Very excited, but keeping a distance.
Call them the Boomer Squad.
Is Dyson an old Dragonborn?
I have no idea.
Have you seen many dragonborn?
You've definitely
No.
killed a good number of Xerxes has killed a decent amount of them that fought in the.
I guess if they were in the PI, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Dragonborn fought on the side of the Primarch because a lot of
lots in Moranth
Dragonborn
too,
in
right?
the Vale and Moranth were oppressed, so they kind of took the side of the Primordials, in part because the Primordials kind of looked like them, and in part because a lot of them were treated like shit anyway. But in Ocelos, Dragonborn are not oppressed in the same way that they are in the Vale, and especially Moranth. Moranth was not great to Dragonborn.
And I don't know if there would have been gemstone dragonborn.
Yeah, that's another thing that's different about Dyson that probably you have not seen. Is his scales are much different. Much like they're very almost translucent, gem-like.
Yeah, and you see some like growths of like crystal and gem of the kind of greenish emerald.
That's cool.
Like his crest is kind of like this fan. Emeralds growing back.
Wow, the party right now is just wild when you look at it. Like totally different. Like you have the Gemstone Dragonborn, you have a fucking kobold, You have a cat man, Tabaxi, a tiefling, and then you have the like most normal looking person.
Yeah,
being Steven.
Not right now.
The elf wizard is the most
This is the
normal.
most normal looking. Kind of cool.
On his good days.
With a club foot.
Yeah, and right now he's got a fucking club foot and a
Yeah.
hunchback. So
Look at us.
it's incredible.
We got
2023.
It's incredible. I love
This
it.
is why Arthur had to go.
Hashtag
He's
diversity.
out. That's why he's out, because he looked, he was a human. What are you thinking? Can't
Too
have a
many
human. You gotta go, you gotta head up north. Come back when you're looking weird.
Yep.
All right, so what do you guys do for the rest of the day other than clean up?
Steven's just sitting,
Anything anyone
feeling,
wants to do specifically?
pitiful.
Cool, love that.
Pity party for Steven.
Yep.
If there's anything specific you want to pick through or do, let me know. If not, fast forward.
Selig is thinking to himself, I think lesser restoration probably do it. I probably don't even need greater restoration. I'll just prepare lesser restoration tomorrow. And it'll probably work. It'll probably be fine. It's fine.
And these are inside thoughts.
These are
Yeah.
inside thoughts. But
Yeah,
he does
for
say
sure.
inside thoughts apparently on the outside.
He does say
Yeah.
inside thoughts on the outside. I think that's canon. Well, just quietly to himself. Nada?
Nope.
Great.
I was looking at spells, Michael. We did like sounds not very we looted this body, right? The guy that was shot.
The man in the rug.
Yeah.
Wasn't he tied up and naked?
So the man in the rug is he's not naked. He's not naked. But he is just kind of in like clothing in the rug. There isn't anything of interest on him, except a small key.
No.
Oh, baby.
No.
There is a small key on his person.
If Salig's the one who finds it, he would have no idea what that is.
Small key.
Oh gosh.
It's just a little, like a little skeleton key, like very,
Well-
like not no bigger than an inch.
He might not know what it is, but after hearing Xerxes, talk, he would at least ask him, like, hey, you know everything in this room. What's this thing? What's this open?
Would he know?
I love all the assumptions. really, I'm just like eating them up. Looking at it, you don't. It just is a small rusted key, little skeleton key. It doesn't look like anything you've seen before. Xerxes.
No. Just looks like a key to me. Somebody had too much time on their hands to make it so small. Maybe ask Steven if he's done self-pitying himself over there.
Even if Steven knew, what'd he tell me?
Who knows? It's 50-50 with that guy. He likes to be right, though. So he might.
Remember, Steven is a child.
Selig will polymorph Steven into someone that looks like Brett before asking him.
Smart.
Actually, that's really smart.
Hey, dude, you recognize this key? Found a key. You know about knocking and opening doors.
The key, Stephen, does not
Look like the other
resemble
keys.
the other two keys. I think you have two.
Yeah, we have two.
Two. It does not resemble the other two keys of the sphere, of which I know you are horrified that that's what it was. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look like that. You don't.
Is it is it the same size and it looks different, or?
No, they're bigger. It's like the small, like
Okay.
like a small little key.
Does he give
They're-
any?
They're a little bigger, a little more substantial. This is probably a little smaller.
Okay.
Does Selig either get the idea that, like, does Steven give off anything? Like, oh,
I'd tell if it was meta. If it was the orb, Steven wouldn't have told you. It's not. According to Steven, he doesn't think it's the orb, so he will just say, "I have no idea."
I feel like Steven probably investigates a key pretty thoroughly when he sees it out of that fear. So maybe you'd be like, there's something with this guy in keys.
but he wouldn't mention the orb at all,
No,
even if it didn't
definitely
fit
not. Big nope. What orb?
Will
There is no
needs
orb.
to build a character with an orb backstory, I think, if he ever wants to see an orb in his days.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, just that's a weird looking key. Can I think what? Any idea? Like, do I have any idea what sort of thing something a key this small would open?
I mean, a lock, but
Okay. I rolled a history check. I don't know.
no, yeah. I mean, it's just a small key,
Okay.
some
Cool.
kind of lock on something. It's just like there's no.
Yeah.
Like,
Alright.
it could unlock a doorknob. It could unlock, like there's just a ton of different possibilities. Like it could unlock a chest. It's just a small, like generic skeleton key. Like there's total possibility that something like it belonged to a man that lived here. You assume so. There's a chance that it could be something here, but it also, for God knows, it could be where he's from. It could be, there's all kinds of possibilities there.
Yeah, no idea. If this guy is as evil or as scary as Xerxes says, I forgot what his name was. Karai. Did I nail it? Oh wow, look at that. Maybe hang on to it. Might help us defeat him if we need to, but yeah, I have no idea. It's a key. It's a small key, smaller than a normal key.
Well, if that's the case, while everybody else is kind of milling about during the day, Selig is actually going to polymorph himself into the friendly owl and look for anything that in this inn that like that's what he's gonna spend the day doing. He's gonna spend the whole day doing it, including the secret path. Like anything that he can find to investigate, looking for that keyhole, he's going to just make sure that it's not here.
Okay.
This is a dumb question. Why'd you polymorph into an owl to do that?
Advantage
Just
on perception.
to see better, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Steven's
roll-
not doing anything. He can help, but
Roll me a D100.
Oh.
Okay. Roll me a perception check with your owl's perception.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Oh, let's see. I think I've got an owl here. So at advantage, you could just roll the D100 or the D20. And can you do a giant owl? Just a normal owl? Great gray owl? What the fuck? What even is that? Great gray owl.
I can pull up my little
Oh, that's what.
master sheet.
I've got Tome of Beasts 2 because they gave it to me for free.
Yeah, there is a giant owl. Perception
Is there a
plus
giant?
5. Well, I'm gonna use the owl with the best sight. That's what's gonna happen there.
And you have advantage. Check. Yeah, use the big boy. Use the giant owl.
Yeah, the giant owl is gonna be.
The great gray owl is not as good.
Okay, so +5.
No difference. Really good.
Well,
Well. Um, okay. So nearing the end of the day, I think probably Xerxes is probably about done in this room, and that's kind of probably Xerxes and Dyson have been kind of working in there talking. Dyson maybe keeping his Xerxes' mind off of things and like focused on the task at hand, breaking down a lot of stuff, getting rid of it, and collecting the black powder in ways, into small cartridges, doing whatever you need to do in that room. And there is a moment when you guys are kind of moving some stuff around in that room, moving some things out of the way. And luckily for you, with your really low D1 hundo, sub 10, that's the same time that your boy, the owl, the giant owl Phaleg is in the room. And for a moment, like moving one of the table legs or something, it kind of kicks a pebble that's in the room, like on the floor. This kind of same floor that you can kind of see here is just like a lot of different like smooth stones, and one of them just shifts a little bit, like, and kind of like turns out of the way. And even with the 12, you're able to spot that in your big ass owl form. You just see that movement. You go over there and kind of like start looking around and pecking about, and you can see this small thing moved this pebble, and there's this really small keyhole beneath of which you found it. And it's kind of like here there's kind of like a table in this room.
Say like an owl form will say "whoo," and then revert and say "is the man."
what?
Looks into the camera rock.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And let it be noted for the record, the only reason you're getting it is because you spent the day searching for it. So the DC is lowered.
Well,
Otherwise,
history will say that he rolled a 28 and was successful immediately. Is the way that.
Pause for edit.
Yeah.
How are you going to doctor that YouTube video?
I mean,
Congratulations, Daily.
That's a problem with some.
I mean, we've got hundreds of hours of YouTube. I'm sure he can.
Yeah, you can make
find...
me say anything you want at this point.
Yeah. 20. Michael saying 28. You find insert. That seems pretty easy, actually. Pay no mind to the camera cut and the completely different video format.
But yeah, we're cracking it open. Like, he's not even waiting.
Yeah, if you put that in the hole, it there's this click, and it lifts up very similarly to how the trapdoor in the other room lifted up. Reveal. And there is, obviously it looks like a trapdoor here, but that's not the case. It matches the stone floor, and it lifts up similarly to the trapdoor. A secret door. This one that has a lock that can be opened with a small key on the dead man, of which may or may not be named Killian. Opening that door, see a small room below, a ladder that goes down into a small room. scroll back up because I really didn't think you were going to find it at this point. You're immediately met. This room probably has stunk like high hell. I assume you pulled that body out of here because it was just terrible at some point. You had to get the body out of here. But that room below does not smell like a rotting corpse. It does, however, smell just stale. It's a lot of stale air, dusty, stale air. And as Thela, you peer down into this very dark, small room. You see there's a thick layer of dust on everything. And by everything, I mean like 40 plus varying small to medium sized chests, just kind of like stacked along the wall on these like makeshift like wooden racks, these shelving units. There's a bunch of these small little chests, small little boxes. Almost some of them look like jewelry boxes or traveling boxes that maybe people would travel with. There's all kinds of small like bags and pouches. And there's like kind of a rack on the wall of a few like weapons kind of hanging up. There's like coats that kind of look like mildewy. At this point, they've probably been down here a while. Coats and robes and hats on the wall. It's kind of an interesting looking room from above. Just a collection of strange things. Traveler's clothes and luggage and chests.
Yeah, he's totally jumped. First of all, is everybody there? Like everybody sees this?
Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, we've got nothing else going on.
Because this is like one of the times where like literally any single person could have a dog in this fight, you know. Xerxes, there could be 40 guns in those chests, you know, there could be arcane stuff. Dyza knows the area apparently better than anybody. And Lagandu has already mentioned the fact that he's kind of been crisscrossing with us at several junctures and has said a few things, most notably recently. They're like, hey, this guy might know something we don't. So like any of them would be like the first one he would call normally. But since it's all of them, like he's jumping down immediately and calling for, like, he's got some exuberance about him. And it, you know, when the poison bomb goes off, he'll be dead, but he's down there and calling for everybody to come in.
Yeah, so you guys kind of get Salig's already down the ladder at this point as he's like yelling, like, I found it, like, and you know, you guys are being called into the room, looking down there. You can see him down the bottom of the ladder, the poison trap about to go off. You can just feel it.
Yeah, I'll hop down there with you. Plenty of cool stuff to poke about at, or at least plenty of stuff to poke about at. Whether it's cool or not, who knows?
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that you can kind of go through, and like you can just see like some of the boxes seem rather old. Some of the wood rotten and mildewed. Some of it a little like fresher, if you will, but all of it like just covered in, like, it doesn't look like anyone's been down here in years, probably. Some of the chests that you kind of like don't open, they're completely locked. Some of them that you flip open, you see coins, jewelry. Some of the coats still have coins in some of the pockets. Some of the pouches you unwrap, coins, silver, gold, copper. Some of the coats have little keys in them, some of them do not. Like, it's just like There's a bunch of stuff down.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Overwhelming. Detecting magic down there. There are some things that glow. In a 30-foot, is that how that works? Beautiful. Yeah. So, as far as things that glow, there is a beautifully crafted longsword with a golden hilt, kind of hanging on a wall. It's decorated with these like geometric designs that are etched in the hilt. Taking it from the scabbard, you can see that it has like this really deep emerald blade. That's magical. There is a saddle that is magical. It's a leather saddle that's also dyed this deep green color, and it also has these kind of cool geometric patterns that are burnished into the leather, decorated with kind of like a gold leaf effect. It's very, very cool and fancy looking. There is a sickle with a rounded silver blade that is also magical. And then inside one of the chests, there is a small orb that is magically glowing. And then actually, from where you are underneath this room, there is something magical in the room above it that you can kind of sense from where you are. A small object, same size as the orb. It's somewhere up above you in the room above. It seems to be somewhere near the door.
If Xerxes doesn't want to, Stephen will identify the orb.
We lost eight, maybe.
I will identify the orb then.
It just doesn't matter.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, so the orb is a pearl of power. It's just kind of sitting there within one of these chests.
Okay, well that's legit. Yeah, Stephen will take that.
As we kind of investigate the room, is there any kind of hint at who this place might belong to?
So the only thing that you probably know about this place was it was kind of a point that people like before entering the crossing, say, like people would store things here that they didn't want stolen. That was kind of like a big thing about this place. For whatever reason, the people of the crossing didn't hit this place. There was some kind of an accord between the cutthroats, essentially, that lived within the crossing and this place, the people who ran the crossing. And so people who were entering for business, we say business, who knows exactly what that business may have been, but things were left behind here. So that's maybe the best guess that you have, is that these are things that kind of fell by the wayside by people who maybe went to the crossing and never came back for whatever reason. If things were forgotten here, so maybe this place would have belonged maybe to the owner of this place, but who's to say? It does not look like anyone's been down here for a while. So the fact that it, like, you found the key on someone here, like, it doesn't look like anyone's been down here. So
yeah, it's like he might not even know what it went to.
Known what the key went to.
I'll point out the other magical items to anyone else in case they're interested in them.
Yeah, so the magical items, there's a long sword, a saddle, and then like a sickle.
I'm gonna pop up the stairs to see the ladder to see what the other magical item is.
Yeah, so as you pop up there, kind of climbing up the stairs, you can see this still like glowing in your detect magic or whatever you find. There's this small stone that's just like inlaid in the pattern of the walls above the door. And it's actually not inside this room, it's on the outside of the room. Like, so it's on the larger room. And it's just this, it looks like an eye. This stone that just kind of looks like an eye.
So it's a ring camera.
Like a hag's eye that I've seen before?
Yes. Exactly like that.
That's
Fucking horse seal.
Oh my goodness. Well, okay. And so, just to clarify, it's above, like it's right here, basically?
Yeah. Like right above the archway of the door. Facing not the workshop, but the like the larger room.
Okay. Uh-huh. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That's great.
Yeah.
I only found one hag's eye and never met the hag, so maybe we can find two.
And never meet the hag.
Yeah.
Just say. And anyone else that's like down there in the like quote unquote basement, if you will, like if you're like looking at chests or like busting open chests or prying open picking chests, whatever, like there is a massive amount of money down here. There's like a couple trunks, and you like there is a massive amount in gold, copper, and like massive.
We're level 12 now, Michael. We only deal in platinum.
Hold on. Yeah.
I'm just letting you know.
Nice.
I want
There's probably some
to
platinum mixed in, but not a lot.
grab the sickle to figure out what it is eventually.
I can identify it if you would like.
Cool. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And then I want to see if on any of the chests, robes, cloths, whatever, if there are any symbols, I can't think of the other word I'm trying to think of. Symbols, identifiers, something that would designate like there are a lot of people from a specific area.
There are a few identifiers, like on some of the chests have like seals on them that resemble the like seal of Briarwood. Also, the seal of Greyforge on a couple of there's a couple chests that have the seal of Greyforge, and they're full of like gold essentially. There's like not other coin mixed in. But other than that, there's nothing like significantly like that you like pick out as an identifier of any one thing. Roll an investigation check. There are a few smaller chests throughout the room that the chests don't look anything alike. Some of them look older than others. Some of them look, newer. But there is like a stamp that's on them, a worn stamp of like a raven, and it's a very similar stamp on like 3 or 4 of the chests. The chest just filled with coins. But that's something that you note with that investigation check, just kind of like looking throughout the room. Then maybe like the stamp is probably more worn on some of them than it is on the other, like newer on a couple of them, and all of it looks old, but it's just different stages of wear.
Okay.
For the meta, are there 3 dots?
No 3 dots.
Oh, okay.
Not on those.
Okay.
You don't see anything with that symbol.
Is all the money in the Vale like the same from Grey Forge, from Briarwood, from like I know a gold piece is a gold piece as far as value, but
Generally speaking, there is different stamps for different cities for sure, but it's generally treated the same. As far as other like Maranthian golds, coins from Kurzik, those all look different. But like it's probably like the Vale probably has a stamp on one side that's all the same, and then the other side kind of shows where they were minted or whatever.
Selig is begging anybody who will listen that he has 1 use of polymorph left, and he can turn them into a horse, and we can try that saddle out right now if he just has 1 volunteer that will do it.
If you did Steven, he'd be a club. Deformed clubfoot horse. Did you identify something, Steven?
The sickle.
It is a moon sickle.
Cool.
Rare. A rare moon sickle.
So +2.
Another thing.
Plus dose. And it looked like the I don't know what it's called. The sickle in Dark Souls.
Oh, the Dark Moon.
Dark moon sickle.
Yeah.
Something
Does the longsword look anything special?
it looks very cool. Yeah, it's gold with like these etched geometric shapes, and it's a dark green blade, like emerald green, like dark blade, and it has this kind of like gold etching on it of like geometric patterns. Yeah,
Would you like it to be identified?
The full moon sickle, if you need an image of what the sickle looked like. Very cool.
Also, Selig, as frustrated as Steven is with you, you did find this room, so he would ask if you would want the Pearl of Power.
Selig is reading about the moon sickle, and he kind of wants that.
How big is this?
It looks like that.
Yeah, is that the scale?
Like what?
No,
That
it's like I know it looks like insane in that person's hands. No, it's just like a hand sickle. Like, it's like
Okay. Because like
this in the game, it's fucking huge. I just mean it looks like that. Like
okay,
It's the shape.
because
Yeah.
Lagandu would Lagandu would vie to somehow affix it to his chain instead of the current sickle and replace his +1 with the +2 moon sickle.
Wow.
But if Selig feels like he could better use it, then he would.
Well, it gives apparently +2 to spell attack rolls.
Correct.
But I don't even know if he can use it because it's metal. Like it's 4 druid spells, but it looks metal, which he can't use.
It actually requires attunement by a druid or a ranger, so you could use it.
Oh
it's-
no!
It's silver bladed.
Thank God I did a +1 dip into everything.
That is a specific thing. It does require attunement by a druid or a ranger.
But it can be used by a druid?
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
All right, there you go.
A +2 focus? He throws his staff just to the wayside.
He breaks it over his knee.
Piece of garbage, shillelagh.
Yeah.
Steven, keep it for the clubfoot.
Hold on to that for me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to go through this character.
17-year-old elf with a staff like Gandalf.
My gout.
This is going to be a +2 to the Greater Restoration tomorrow, Steven. Just
All right. Okay. I'll identify that sword for Deezen. Nailed it, right?
He's in.
The sword is a +2 luck blade, long sword, with 0 wishes remaining.
Oh,
Oh,
what else does it
damn.
do?
But it is still a +2 luck blade,
That's awesome.
That's pretty dope.
and it's a long sword. So,
Would anyone like it?
if anyone can use a long sword, I don't even know.
Could.
And
I don't know if I would, though.
Well, would anyone like to carry it on their person and get the benefits of the luck part?
sure.
Yeah, why would you not? Yeah.
Because you can still do that at least.
Yeah, that's 2%.
And last is a leather saddle.
At this point, I'm just gonna identify it because the other stuff's been so cool.
It's a saddle of the Cavalier. And it is the same, like, it matches, like, the designs of the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Dark green dye and kind of this cool geometric gold patterning. And then a hag's eye above the door. There's that.
Yeah, we're getting to that.
Do you want to take the time to count all the goldens?
Before we do that,
Or shovel it
Lagandu.
into your bag, and your bag is going to rip because of how heavy it is?
Yeah. Lagandu, Xerxes, or Dazen. I don't know who's taking the sword. Would one of you who's not taking the sword like a periapt of wound closure? Or actually, no, gosh, I need to count my attunement items. Shoot.
True.
I'll take the sword. You said it was a +2.
Yeah. +2 luck blade.
Is that +2 also carry over to the +1 saving throw bonus?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't. My brain was
Okay.
broken for a second there. Didn't
worries.
understand what the question was. Yeah, it does. +2 across the board.
Gotcha.
Yeah, would one of you like a periapt of wound closure? You can read the item. It's under my character name in Roll20.
That thing has got passed around a bit, periapt.
Yeah.
I think Anna had it for a while.
Mhm, she did.
Anna had it.
You had it initially, didn't she?
Yeah. That she upgraded her attunement items.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been like.
No, and Steven now has no
officially
use.
used.
Steven has no use of it now.
I mean, Lagandu would take it if nobody else wanted it.
Attunement item, yeah.
Because a Pearl of Power is also an attunement item, correct, Michael?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's what Google told me.
I think that's probably correct. I think Pearl
Okay.
Power is in the compendium too. I would think. Yeah, Pearl Power is in the SRP. It is attunement.
Yeah. Lagandu, would you like it?
If no one else has a need for it, sure.
You now have a periapt of wound closure.
Sweet.
Put it in your folder. New people, you have folders, I assume you know.
Mm-hmm.
That list is getting long. The party list. I have to remove people to like the actual party list and then the party list.
Need to have like a reserved party list.
Bench squad.
A lot of names in here. There's 15 people. Oh, 14. Sorry, I counted the stuff folder. So I don't know why that's in the party folder anymore. I guess it's the party stuff. You have some of that stuff.
Spell storing and the Pearl of Power. That's how it's said.
If you're curious, the gold. So across nearly 40 small chests of varying shapes and sizes, there are 37,680 pieces of silver, or of copper, apologies, 27,362 silver pieces, and 12,899 gold pieces, which, if you're curious, I did the math for you, totals into 16,012 gold pieces, which is also a whopping 1,558 pounds of gold. There's also an additional 4,200 gold pieces of like a mixture of gemstones, rings, necklaces, bracelets, and art objects.
How big is the
And
room?
if you're also curious, this room has existed since the beginning of the adventure.
That's awesome.
There's that.
How big is this room? Is it the same size as the above room? Or is it bigger?
It's smaller. It's like a 9x9 cube, so 15 by 15.
Oh, hell.
It's little.
Do we want all this gold?
I'm
Sure, why not?
I'm asking the team. Okay.
Yeah, shovel as much as you can in the bag of holding.
I can
Dice
carry all
doesn't
of it
make a fuss over
without
it,
the bag of holding.
You're a monster.
What?
I can carry all of it without the bag of holding.
I hate this game, and I'm never playing again.
I have a 20-foot radius cylinder that's 20 feet high that I can store stuff in.
Oh yeah, you could absolutely.
Because your boy's a... Yeah.
So hang on. Is this an expandable cylinder, or like you're literally walking around with this massive? Like, I want to hear more about this.
No,
Yeah.
it is
We
the
all want more.
little like oil lantern that has been clipped to his chain weapon that I just forgot the name of.
Oh, you have a portable hold.
Canonically it is a genie's lamp.
Oh,
So cool.
cool.
Bottle of respite, more or less.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. For the sake of ease of understanding.
There's a ton of stuff in here. Might as well put it somewhere.
I mean, it can all just go in the little lantern, the little oil lantern. Just
Thanks for being our bank, Preston.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say my next character needs to be a banker, and like it'll be homebrew character, and he'll just turn gold pieces into platinum pieces. You know,
If you would
take
like,
however many gold pieces it takes to platinum, and he just magically turns them.
give me the text of that. I'll just give you the gold pieces. 'Cause I'm a
Yeah.
gentleman.
16,000 somewhere or other.
I'm a gentleman and scholar.
Is that actually an item I could put? Probably not. No results found. Well, that's fine. Roll 20.
There you go.
Let's see. Character sheets.
And there you go. Yeah, there's a calculator online where you can input the amount of gold, silver, and copper pieces, and it will tell you the weight.
I think we used it once.
Very fun. It's a very good time.
We used it once before to figure out if the bag of holding could hold it. somewhere along the line.
I believe that.
So between the bag of holding has 11.5, 12.5, basically 15,000 gold in it. And now you're carrying another 15,000 gold.
You guys are rich.
You're
We need
doing
to
fine.
go.
And that doesn't include any of the items that were, just toting around.
Yeah, not using.
Yeah.
And you still know the location of like a dragon horde that had a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff that you didn't take. Wow. You're rich. Just retire.
Rich bitch.
Sure, it'll be fine.
Well, I will tell everyone about the Hag's Eye. Because, they deserve to know. I will also tell them that Xerxes and I have encountered another Hag's Eye in our travels, and have yet to meet any hags, so I don't think we need to do anything about it, but just heads up, they're out there somewhere, doing stuff, hag things.
Hey, would Dyson know anything about hags upon Stephen bringing this up?
Roll a luck roll. D1
Luck
hundo.
roll?
Yep,
Okay.
D1 hundo.
Middle of the road.
You just get that kind of uncomfortable feeling about it, but I don't think you're anywhere like
Wasn't sure given where he's traveled.
exactly. Just an uncomfortable feeling. You probably don't love the mention of hags, but you're not like. I think you still have some suppressing feelings about such things.
All right.
What a day! You guys just gonna stay here forever? Partially
No,
burned
no.
down
I mean,
motel.
they met a
Essentially.
new friend. Got a lot of gold.
Yeah,
found
what a
out,
day for Dyson.
Some rogue apprentice of Xerxes.
Wow, what a day! Dyson might even be mad. It's like, wait, if I would have just taken this place on 2 days ago, it would have all been mine. Wouldn't have had to share a damn thing.
He could
Sure,
have
that's
taken
really
gold.
story.
Yeah, I think we'll just stay here the rest of the day.
Yeah, let
Steven
the
doesn't
snow
want to
pass.
travel with his club foot.
So,
I love it. Yeah, so it's already evening at this point. So you guys kind of pull up here, taking watches as you must. You don't see there's no signs of anything outside of the light. It's quiet. It's quiet here. Wake up in the morning. Steven can make a roll, I believe. What is it? Is the question.
Constitution, probably.
I would think so. Oh, this is the one I had to fucking look up because it doesn't have the thing on Roll20. I could have to go to freaking like AD&D.
Oh, it was charisma is what I made initially.
Charisma. Yeah, you're right. It is charisma. I don't think a 10 does it.
Guess who's gonna chronal shift it? This guy.
So with these rolls, these kind of like represent the whole day, essentially. So there isn't any way to like buff them unless you are taking like a
luck
like,
roll.
Not even a luck roll. It's like a luck roll would technically work probably. But like with diseases and things like that, and this is totally my homebrewiness. It's just like it's supposed to represent the like whole day. It's not like you know that you're making this roll.
Gotcha.
It's like your body, your fortitude, kind of. But also, Selig will be able to remove it, so it's not that.
Selig, please.
I imagine opening my eyes in the morning and Steven's like right there.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, yup yet.
Just been sitting there patiently looking at him.
Yeah, that will do it. Removing this kind of hideous deformity from Steven. And Steven, you just feel like a new man. You can walk and run at normal speed. And
do you have to consume 100 GP worth of diamond dust to do that?
Technically speaking, yeah.
Okay. I mean, we have diamonds. So
You have money.
Yeah, we have the diamonds. I was just gonna mark it off because I didn't realize there was a component cost to it.
Yes, sir. Get ready to diamonds. It's not like you have a cleric that could use them anyway.
It's true. Thank you, Selig. Oh. And Steven like does a little jog around the inn, like, oh, I can finally walk again.
The inn is starting to smell a little bit worse than it was the day before.
Worse?
Yeah, I think the Fomorians don't smell good as they age.
Oh, smell. I thought you said snow.
No, snow. Good. That's solid. We should find out. I think you're going to be lucky this time. Strong winds, but the sky is just overcast. No snow.
Let's get out of here.
There's a few probably somewhere in the 4 or so inches in total down on the ground as you guys are getting ready to leave. What's the play?
Head to the crossing, right? That's where we're going.
Yep.
Where is the camera? Right there. It's clutch. Oh, don't want that guy. Don't bring that guy. The dead body of Killian. Okay. So you're headed towards the crossing. All your new things in hand. Those of you that needed to attune could attune. Those of you that didn't could just carry whatever you're carrying.
I changed
Swap
out a
things
couple
out.
of my infusions.
Love to hear that. Did Saru, did Lagandu want anything from Saru's ship? Because that may have been discussed at some point, especially when you're piling a bunch of gold into your.
There's the sunblade that someone could have. The ever-smoking bottle could be fun still. There was that +1 mariner's armor that somebody could have. Studded leather armor +1. Plus a swim speed.
A lot of things.
The Horn of Fury.
The Horn of Fury that let us remember did do some
Something.
destruction in that final, in Saru's final breath.
Yeah.
That thing should be plated in gold and hung on a wall somewhere.
Is studded leather armor light armor?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What was in the haversack? I think I had a bunch of stuff, but I think it was a bunch of just kind of nonsense. Finn had stuff. Roscoe had stuff.
A ton of nonsense.
Oh yeah, it'd be cool to have that Shield of Vile Rebuke back from Roscoe.
It's in the bag of holding.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
The spyglass was in the haversack, so someone would have that for sure.
A lot of stuff.
Symbol of Viserys. Black coins. Something related to Clavius, maybe.
It was.
Otherwise, there was a potion of giant strength. Someone could have.
Keep that.
And someone definitely has the Dwarf in My Heart book.
Solid fantasy novel. Romance, baby.
Does that have an author listed?
I did not type one.
I'll have to search my notes and see if there is.
I did.
Is he written like a series of these, or?
Hell yeah. I don't remember if there was an author written.
Was that originally in there?
Is this a collectible we need to find?
It wasn't in the haversack. It was with a bunch of other. It was in the Wasn't it in the cave that we were looking through after Mountain Heart?
It was like one of 3 books.
Yeah,
Session 33 is the only
with
book
like
that came, or the only thing that came up in my notes.
I was just saying it was with like a spell book or something, I believe, of some kind.
Yeah,
And then
the Dragon's Heart.
And then there was a bunch of other stuff. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Sounds like a lonely wizard.
Yeah, in the
If it was by the spell
all our
book,
base
that
belongs
would
to
have
us.
the Dragon.
yeah, that
episode.
makes sense. That's funny.
I forgot
I'm not
wizards
sure.
can't even wear light armor, so no.
Really?
Yeah. No armor proficiency.
What's Steven's armor class?
He casts mage armor on himself every day.
Right.
So it's 16, I think.
Not terrible for a wizard.
No, it just would be nice not to have to prepare mage armor and cast it every day.
Right.
Here we
Have
go.
that extra spell slot.
Yeah.
Dwarfing My Heart by Lascivia B. Moore. The novel is awful, very few redeeming qualities, and the artwork, yikes. However, Clavius gains advantage on any charisma checks used to influence dwarves after reading the book.
That's amazing.
What?
There you go.
Give that man inspiration, Michael.
Yeah, honestly, you deserve it. That's absolutely bulk. Incredible. I also meant to give Croft a bottle cap earlier for her being able to pull Karai and Killian for my intro monologue. Pretty good. Pretty good work.
Huh?
All right.
Sunblade's also a +2. Forgot about that.
Yeah, +2 lightsaber, baby.
We don't have. Do we have a cleric? Or
Nope.
does it require attunement by one of those?
I don't recall.
It doesn't. I don't
think
see
so.
it. It requires attunement, 3 pounds.
But not specifically by a cleric or a paladin.
In Curse of Strahd, it did.
Not on the card that Michael made.
I don't think it does. Yeah,
Okay.
this specific.
Yeah, I must have been thinking of the Curse of Strahd version.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
of.
Yes. Okay, well, spoiler alert. You won't need it in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll worry about those later. But yeah, Horn of Fury could be fun to use. Ever
Work it
so
out
can
on-
would also be fun.
We can work it out on the Discord
Yeah.
when we're bored throughout the week. But yeah, put that shit on your guys' character sheet so you can use it. Okay, so we'll fast forward a little bit. A few things. As you head north, the forest gets a little thicker. The further north you go, you're traveling in the snow, and you're making tracks here. There's no one. You don't see any tracks of anyone that's kind of gone this way before you. The snow is fresh within the last 24 hours. You might see the tracks of like small game animals every here and there, like little things. As you approach the river, the Lamnik, you can see a large wooden bridge. The other side of the river is kind of marked. You can see this like kind of small sign that indicates the start of the lands that is kind of like known as the boundaries of the crossing. Some of you that have been this way before Xerxes, I know, like before the burning, that have been through this area kind of knows the crossing is not like a large city per se. It's more like a sprawl of several like kind of smaller villages. And it's like rural feeling. It's condensed near its center, where it's more of like a main city street or whatever, like Main Street, Commerce District, whatever. And that's where a lot of like the guilds and the factions that kind of ran this city, for lack of a better, this area, kind of operated out of. But generally, like when someone referred specifically to the crossing, they were referring to that like specific area, like the middle, the main center. But all of this area is technically the crossing, and it's just a bunch of like these small little backwoodsy feeling buildings that kind of like crop up in bunches here and there, sprawled all over this area. Dyson, though you have certainly not traveled in this direction before in the Vale. This was kind of your first foray here. There's something eerily familiar about this large wooden bridge that's kind of ahead of you. You kind of are overcome with this like sense of deja vu, as this bridge is maybe reminds you of a bridge that you encountered 3 times before elsewhere.
Right.
But there's something different about it now. Like the snow covering it, like everything. It's just like there's something a little different. Deja vu. Is it or isn't it kind of feeling?
How long is it?
The bridge?
Yeah.
It crosses like in this area probably like 60 feet, I'd say, across the water. It kind of, or so. And those of you that have had this way before, like Xerxes, you've crossed this bridge before to go into the crossing during the incursion. This is the way in, basically the way into the lands of the crossing. Crossing the bridge. Fine. Goes fine. The river kind of slowly moving beneath it, and from there you're kind of like heading the way you know how to get to the city proper, and you're going through and maybe around some of these kind of smaller outcroppings, these smaller villages. As you move through the first few of these kind of like smaller village areas, these like pockets of civilization, or once civilization. You kind of see very little in the way of life. You probably see a few rabbits here and there, and you can see their their brown coats are almost fully white at this point. They're changing with the season. Birds, things of that nature. But otherwise, it's really quiet and clear. And as I said before, you're kind of making the tracks at this point. There's no other. You're breaking the snow. Most of the buildings that you encounter are wooden structures on stone foundation, very similar to the Willow's Respite, but on a much smaller scale. Most of them are small homesteads, even just one to 2 room cabins. Most or all at this point that you've seen, of which are in various states of extreme disrepair. Most of the roofs are completely caved in. Some of them are kind of fallen in on themselves, the walls fallen over, bricks kind of everywhere. And some of these structures have clearly burned down and never been kind of repaired since. If you're giving it a direct comparison to anything that some of you have been to before, it's way closer to the ruins of Bray when you were in that area, even though that was a little more disastery. This seems over time that it's kind of fallen into disrepair and just been forgotten. Curiously, however, as you guys get closer and closer into the more central quarter, where pockets of these houses are kind of picking up as you guys are getting further and further in, there is a distinct fresh pair of boot prints that you see. The prints have what seems recently kind of walked through the snow. It's that the look of a snow has fallen on these prints since they were made, but it's not you can still see them, that interesting, you can see these prints that have been made in the snow, but snow has fallen atop them, so they're almost covered. But in no one else has been through here, you can distinctly see them. And they seem to come out from a small pocket of 2 or 3 buildings, which would be to your west, and kind of curl forward, heading north in the same direction that you're going. And I think that's where we'll call it. Seeing that or 10:30. 10:30 seems good.
Yeah.
Good stopping point.
Good stopping point. Heading into the crossing.